I don't know how much longer GameStop's going to last after this because they've been going out of business
Yeah.
for a long time. That's
Yeah.
why they started
Mhm.
selling like Funko Pops and like shirts and stuff because people are buying digital games. I don't buy any
Yeah.
other physical games, movies,
Yeah.
or like books now. I don't buy anything like media that's physical. What's the
Yeah.
point?
I, honestly, at this point, anyone that like wants like physical copies of anything is, I think it's just to collect.
Yeah. And I think people are
Like
realizing
for
more and more like the like minimalism is becoming like a big thing in the US now. Like people it's like spreading a lot more and people are realizing like how stupid collecting really is. Like I'm sure it brings a lot of people joy and like they enjoy collecting this stuff because they like looking at it. But then like houses are getting smaller, people are getting less space, land is hard to
mm,
come by. They don't have space to keep like all of these NES games that they're never going to touch.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like people are realizing like I can't collect all this stuff and moving to digital stuff because it's more convenient and it's better for the
Hmm.
environment.
Yeah.
So you don't need this game that has this plastic case just because it
Yeah.
looks nice. Like that's something that's hard because we were going through all our stuff and we were trying to condense a lot of our stuff to fit into our storage space outside so we could have our storage closet
Mm,
under the stairs open for like utility kind of stuff, like stuff we're actually going to grab. So we're taking
mm.
all of our movies and we got one of those like disc binders
Mm.
because we can't just get rid of all our physical movies and buy them all digitally.
Yeah.
That would be like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
But
also
like,
like super wasteful.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like we are getting rid of all the cases, but it's like these companies and like this whole uh like industry is so good at making us feel like we're connected to this physical inanimate object that just looks nice. Like the slip dust covers on like Blu-rays like always look really nice. And I'm like,
Hmm.
wow, do I really want to get rid of this? I'm like, why am I even questioning this? It literally doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I can still pull out the disc
Yeah.
and watch the movie.
Yeah.
This doesn't
Yeah.
add any more like substance to my life because it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, when's the
People.
last
Yeah.
time like you read like the back of the disc, of the
Oh
disc
yeah.
cover? Like what are what I don't even know
Hmm.
anything about that. I don't I think we own like this many movies. I don't know how many movies that is. I can just look at it and be like, we own this many. But like for the most part, like we're
Hmm.
always streaming, and we do own a bit of books, but it's not like a whole library. It's like maybe a shelf of books,
Yeah.
you know, and like why everything else that we've collected over the years, like it really isn't that much. It's like a box of decoration.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I mean, when you say like your guys' stuff, that's like you guys who are
Two
like,
people's things.
yeah, and you guys are
Yeah.
like 20 and how old is Michaela now?
She's
20,
22.
23,
Okay,
22.
yeah. So that's like, and you guys grew up in this age where you could get stuff digitally. Like when I say like our movies, this is like my mom
Yeah.
who's like
My
almost
dad has
50
so many
and couldn't
movies.
get digital stuff. So it's
Yeah.
just like that's what they
Like
had to do. So I
he
don't
has
blame
like
her
a
for
whole
getting that.
like two like holders or like of or shelves or whatever of like just movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, I know that you have Netflix. I know that you watch, people streaming. Like, when's the last time you watched a movie? I know Marina's not watching any of these movies. She's been more, engaged or more immersed in digital age because she's 4 years younger than me. In 2014, I was 14 and, I was just like, oh my God, the iPhone. And she was like, 10.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, the iPhone, but I'm 10 years old, which is crazier. So like, why does he has so much shit,
Yeah. At
so
least go
much? Why?
through them. Like if there are
Yeah.
Yeah.
some that when you look at it, you're like, oh, I really love this movie. Keep it. It doesn't matter. But like if you're looking at it, you're
Hmm.
like, I'm never gonna watch this again. Don't just get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Just like random movies that like he just has that I've watched and I'm like, oh, okay, this is an okay movie, but I have no like recollection of what the movie's about. You know what I mean? So it's like just get rid of it. You can find it somewhere. There are countless of free, even illegal streaming services. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to have like a physical copy of Ghost Rider. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
It's also like so much easier to have digital movies because like I'll be at Vanessa's house and I'll just log into my Vudu because I want to watch this movie and I'll have to be like, oh, let me go home real quick and grab my copy of this movie because it's like I'll just log into my account and we just play it.
Yeah.
But then we're getting
Exactly.
to a point where like a lot of people are becoming like digitally cluttered. Like a lot of like people that make like YouTube videos or like filmmakers or photographers have like hard drives and hard drives and hard drives of
Yeah.
stuff that they're just keeping just in case. And then it's
Yeah.
like,
In case what?
well, I
You know?
understand sometimes where it's like maybe you want to use this specific clip in like a video. Like, I don't know if you guys watch
Yeah.
like Matt Diavella on YouTube at all. He makes a lot of videos where most of his videos go back and show a clip from something because he has a lot of like interviews and stuff. Um, but even he's like, he's a minimalist and he's like super like no clutter or anything. And he's like really good about minimalism and everything. But like even digitally, he's like, I need to go
Okay.
through this at some point.
Yeah, like my iPad, like it was all full. Michaela told me today it was all full of like YouTube videos that I've made on my channel and stuff. She's like, I couldn't save any videos because you had them all on the iPad, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It
Yeah.
just saved there.
I don't save any of our stuff. I delete it once it's posted.
Hmm.
Because I'm trying to not fall into that. But then I'm sure at some point I'm gonna be like disappointed that I can't pull like a
See,
clip
and
in.
it's like total, you know, what if one day I want this and I can't show anybody? What if one day YouTube crashes and I can't show people, you know, what I made with my friends, you know, so many years ago, you know? But it's also like it's almost unlikely that that would happen because I'm sure if our it's just like when Musically turned into TikTok, all those people who had Musicallys and forgot about it, like now their stuff is on TikTok, you know? So even if something happened to YouTube where it was bought out by a company, like all of our accounts and stuff would still be there. And the
Yeah.
internet's forever. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, it may go away, but by the time it goes away, we might be too old to even remember this video, you know? We might be too old to remember that this channel we might have already expanded to another platform. You know what I mean? So it's like that feeling of, oh, what if this happens and I don't have it and I'm going to be disappointed. I think that's what really like makes people hold on to things. Like, what if I do want to watch Ghost Rider and
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't have it and I really want to watch Ghost Rider? Like, that's the thing that's like making us hold on to things,
Yeah.
which is really shitty.
I feel like most of the people that are like probably like 35 and younger, like most of them are either have already or are starting to realize like how much physical stuff we have that doesn't matter. And like eventually
Yeah.
once like that big group of like older people like sadly like eventually die out, like that turning point where no one is going to want like physical movies, physical games, physical books, any of that. It's going to do like so much for the environment, but it's happening too slowly.
Yeah.
How often do you guys get the notification that your iCloud storage is used up?
Often.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah,
because it
pretty
saves
often.
every single backup.
Yeah. And
It's
I'm
like
like,
delete all
hey,
of them except the newest one.
yeah.
And like I just
Hmm.
watched a video where I don't know if you guys have watched the slow-mo guys. And they use like red cameras with like it's like raw 8K footage and it takes up a lot of space. So like he just has like a closet full of hard drives and like Linus Tech Tips like built him like this like case full of hard drives and it was like something like 100 terabytes of storage or whatever.
Just
And
delete
he's like,
it.
I'll
Throw it
probably go
away.
through this in like a couple months. And it's like I'm not saying like what
Couple
he's doing is
months.
bad or anything. Like
Yeah.
like it's just unfortunate that it takes up that much space, but it's like I don't know.
Jeez.
It's just
That's a
like
lot.
it's crazy because it's like we're switching from
Yeah.
one thing to something else. Like it's not even really better in every single way. Like it's definitely gonna be better for like space and like the environment
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's
Like
like we're still
in Michaela and I's last apartment, like we had a lot of decorations. Like we had so much stuff up. And now because our apartment's bigger, like we have a lot more like blank walls. Like this wall is blank. In our last apartment it would have been filled up with something. That wall over there and this wall, like the only thing up there is a ghost. And like I found ourselves saying like, oh, it's a lot more open now. Like we want more open space and we want like less things and we want things and wires and stuff to be like less in the way and less visible and stuff. You know, like my desk, it's super tight and there's like, you know, it's not even that big. It's like this big, you know, and it only takes up a certain amount of stuff. And like we don't want stuff on the floors and like stuff that looks cluttered. Like we don't like it like under our entertainment system in the living room. Like it's super messy down there. But the fact that we can't see it like alleviates something in us for some reason. And like there are certain parts of our house that's like a little smaller and like a little tighter, like our we have like a washer and dryer. We have like a laundry room now, and it's like super compact, and all of our storage stuff is in there. But like everything is just like in a way where it's like everything is more open and like less. We have less, and it like feels good to have less.
Oh yeah. Like you can see like this wall's pretty much clear now. I only have like 3 posters on that wall and then something else like on this side. It's like my setup for book review, and then like the skateboard on the wall. But it's like my walls used to be like filled because I liked it, but then I'm like, I don't know. It becomes like a lot to even have stuff on the wall, even though it's not taking up any like real space that you're gonna be using. It's like you like think about how much you are consuming and how much you're getting, and it's just like decoration. Like, why are
Yeah,
we spending
Mhm.
money on stuff just to go on the wall? Sometimes it's
yeah,
nice to have something to look at. Like, I like how these posters look and like that stuff, but it's like you don't need so much.
right.
I think we need to be
Mhm.
like comfortable with nothing.
Right.
Because people,
Like the most decorations that we have is like going up our stairwell. Like it's obviously 2 walls, but on this wall it's like all of the decorations that we had all over our house, and it doesn't fill up the stairwell because it's just one side of the stairwell. But there's like a lot of stuff there, but like I only see it for like 4 seconds while I'm going up the stairs, and that's it. So like
yeah,
it looks nice and it looks cool, but like for the most part we didn't buy any of that, which like I guess brings me a little bit of comfort. I'm like, I didn't spend $60 on all this stuff. Like either I made it or it was given to me. It's like the art that we've collected. um so it's just really weird to think that like, oh, I'm gonna buy this $600 painting and it's gonna take up this whole room. Why?
yeah. It's, I mean, like, if
Doesn't-
you really enjoy that, like, go ahead. But it's like, I think we like fundamentally need to change like how we view a lot of stuff. Because I know a
yeah.
lot of people, like, if they walked into an empty room, this is like, this feels like uncomfortable. I want to make it like feel like more like cozy or something. But it's like,
Why?
why?
And that also brings up the fact that we're like always making stuff. Like if we stopped making clothes, we'd have clothes forever. If we stopped making pillows and beds, we'd have all of them forever. But it's always like, oh, we sold one bed, so we have to make 6 more beds because we might, I don't know, we might sell out of beds, I guess.
Yeah,
We sold one TV, we have to make 20 more TVs because I see that more people are buying this TV. But if we stopped making things and only made a certain amount of new things, then we'd we'd have things forever.
yeah,
I don't think there needs to be any more clothes, and I don't think there needs to be any more people. And that's that's my opinion.
yeah. I
Shit.
think it's just we get so comfortable with things being there. Like for a long time, I fell asleep with the TV on because I was like used to hearing it, and then after that, I was like,
Mhm.
I don't like this anymore. So I would like fall asleep listening to music, and now it's at the point where I just turn off everything and roll over and go to sleep, and it
Yeah.
feels so much better.
I just feel like our generation, like for some reason we like always have to be stimulated by something. Like something always has to be happening. Like I say all the time, I'm like a multi-screen person where like I'll have the TV blaring, but I'll also be on my phone, and like periodically I'll be reading a book. Like I don't need that. Why do I do that? Why does that happen? And sometimes I do find myself getting completely overwhelmed. So I'll have to, my Roku like makes noise when I like scroll through things. Like it'll
Oh
be like
yeah, I
whoomp,
know what you're talking about.
whoomp, whoomp. And I'm like, I can't handle that. I cannot handle that. Every time that I go on my TV until I put something on, I'll mute it. It's just too much. So I'm like visibly and audibly getting overwhelmed by like things. So it feels nice now that I'm like reading or like practicing martial arts where I'll just turn everything off and I'll read or I'll practice martial arts. So it's like it just feels like we have to like always be stimulated by something, which is like overwhelming if you really think about it.
Yeah, and I think at this point, even though like there's so many different like definitions of like people like how they view minimalism and what they consider like a minimalist, but like at this point, like how I am like functioning and how my life is, I comfortably can call myself like a minimalist from my point of view, and it like feels so much better. Like it feels like you like your room is less cluttered. You're like you don't have like I don't have drawers under my desk, so I don't have room to put other stuff. Like if you like
Yeah,
restrict the amount of space that you can hide stuff away, it's like so much easier to get rid of stuff because you're like, well, I don't really have space for that. And it doesn't really matter. And then it's like your
exactly. Yeah,
mind feels less cluttered,
yeah,
and you just feel better.
The
And it's
only
like,
thing that I like really struggle with is like clothes, because I think I also have like poor people mentality because I grew up like financially,
yeah,
you know,
I understand.
and so like
Completely.
sometimes I'm like, I need these pair of pants that don't really fit me.
Yeah,
I
like
need
what if
them.
they fit me eventually? I'm not gonna
What
go
if
and buy
I
more pants.
yeah, what if I lose weight? I can't like one of the main like there's two reasons why I'm not getting a what are they called? It's like a book, but it's a tablet.
An e-reader.
Kindle.
No, a Kindle. Like one of the main
Well,
reasons why I'm
a
not getting
Kindle
that
is
is
an e-reader.
is because I have a lot of books that I want to read and that I will read, but like the idea of one buying a Kindle and two rebuying all the books that I want to read just like stresses my poor person brain out like so much.
Yeah. Well, I kept all the books that I feel like I'm gonna read again, and all the new books that I want to read, I'm just gonna buy on the Kindle.
Right.
It's just like I like having this one thing that I can bring anywhere or just put anywhere, and it barely takes up any space, and you can't even really see it. So it like looks like it's
Right.
not there, and
Right.
it just like it feels so much better. But I know
Yeah.
what you mean
Mm.
about like the poor people mentality and stuff. One of the biggest things that I that like helped me kind of get through that is like Chase Reeves. He's another YouTuber. He was talking about like minimal travel and everything, and
I
how
love minimal travel.
yeah, and how
So
like
sexy.
the to get really get into that and be able to do that, it's like you have to start with your life first,
Mm.
and like the stuff that you use needs to either be like multifunctional or be super reliable. Like, why do we keep shirts that we know, like I know you can think of the shirt right now that you don't really like how you feel in it, you don't really like how it looks, but you just keep
Why do
it
I
because it's
have
part of your
it?
wardrobe. It's like,
I'll
imagine,
have hell of
yeah,
those.
like the people who have a capsule wardrobe or like a uniform. Like before all of this, I was like in the process of doing that. Like I was gonna try like Patagonia's shirts and all that stuff, because it's like,
Those are cool.
imagine being able to wear like every day, wear the thing you feel best in. Why do we not do that? Like, there's like your favorite shirt. Why isn't your whole wardrobe your favorite shirt?
Right.
Why do you have all these other shirts? They're wasting your time, and they're like making you feel crappy.
Like almost all of my shirts are like that. Like you guys see me and I'm almost always wearing a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
Why don't I just
Hmm.
own like just black t-shirts?
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, oh, well, the crowd that I'm going to see today, or like the people I'm going to be around, I don't really want to wear this shirt. That's why I just want like, I'm
Why
gonna
does
like
it
get like
matter?
a solid colored, like I want to try a few different brands that are obviously like I'm trying to be like really eco-friendly with the brand that I'm choosing. It's like Patagonia, I'm gonna try them first. It's like I would love to just have like 7 of the same shirt, 1 or 2 pairs of pants, and then like 2 pairs of shoes maybe,
Yeah.
and just wear that
Like
every day.
I recently bought pants because like I have a lot of pants and I don't wear any of them. Michaela and I usually stick to like the same two pairs of pants or one pairs of pants in Michaela's situation because she doesn't like pants, you know? You see Michaela, she's always wearing shorts every single time.
Yeah.
And so like
Shorts.
and so I bought
Mm.
2 pairs of pants and I'm probably gonna
Shorts.
get rid of every single pair of pants that I own.
Yeah.
Except for like maybe one. So I'll have 3 pairs of pants and then I'll go through all of my shirts and I'll just keep all of the black ones, go through all of my jackets, you know, keep some of them. Like some of them I'm like, "Oh, my friend got me this." But like if I get rid of it, he's not going to stop being my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like if you take a picture of it, like this is something some people do, where like if someone gives them something that's sentimental and everything, but they don't really have a use for it anymore, or they don't really want to keep it around, if you take a picture of it, looking at the picture of it is going to give you pretty much the same reaction as if you were to look
Yeah.
at the thing. You're like, oh, I remember when they got me that.
Right. And if it's really sentimental, like you'll even remember how it feels. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I have a sweater that my best friend Eddie got me when he took me to he used to take me to San Francisco every year to go watch the Gay Man's Chorus during Christmas time, him and his mom. And he bought me a San Francisco hoodie, or his mom brought me a San Francisco hoodie. And it has a specific feel to it. So if I look at that hoodie and I don't wear it, if I look at that hoodie, I'll be like, oh, I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Why do I have all this stuff? I don't need as much clothes as I have.
Yeah. One of
Period.
the things that me and Vanessa are trying to do to like not do that, because it is fun to like buy a shirt from where you are, or like a band t-shirt when you go to the concert or anything, is to buy like patches. Like we each have like a denim jacket, and we'll just buy like a patch and put it on the jacket. Like obviously eventually we're going to run out of space on the jacket, but it's way better to come home and put that patch on the one thing in your closet instead of coming home and adding another thing to your closet. And then
Right.
eventually it just keeps piling up. I feel like Seawall is about to like change his life the way that he's looking. It's like, oh,
You're right. I don't need those.
well, yeah, because it's like,
Well, because that's kind of the because because I know that you guys had gotten those denim jackets together, but I didn't know that was the was that the big reason
that's
or
why I
was
wanted to start doing it because like you go to like a concert and you're like, well, I really want to get like this tour shirt because it's cool, but it's like they usually sell like a patch or something too.
Yeah, and
And
it's
like you're gonna
usually
take
Mhm.
$40.
pictures.
It's like cheaply made, and it's like I
And then
don't
like especially in the case
need
of
this.
like 21 Pilots, I don't like the way that their shirts fit at all.
A lot of them like are like pinchy here, and they're
Yeah,
like way too tight here,
but I'm
and
not
like the
gonna not
collar's
get
always like
one.
really low for some reason,
Yeah,
and like it's just all
but I'm
shit.
like, I want to get one because it's a tour shirt. I'm at this tour.
Right.
But it's like if
Mhm.
you just got like a patch, like it takes up way less space. You can put it on something, and eventually you can just not get anything. And you're like, oh, I have pictures. And
Right.
even then,
I'm gonna turn on my light.
you're like, oh, I don't need these pictures because I remember it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I
I
get
mean,
that.
it's not bad for people that like having stuff or
Yeah.
anything. Like, go ahead and
Yeah,
do
it's
whatever you
not
want.
bad to like practice consumerism. Who gives a shit, you know? But like I guess maybe sometimes people should like take a step back and be like, oh shit, I'm contributing to this like mass production of something, and it doesn't really have like a use, you know? Like when we moved, Michaela and I cut down like everything that we owned in half. We used to have like a whole line of shoes, and we went down and we like, I don't wear that, I don't wear that, I don't wear that, and we donated it all. We Michaela and I very rarely, unless it's garbage, we don't throw anything away. We just donate it,
Yeah.
you know. And so like now Michaela and I each have like 3 pairs of shoes, you know, and a lot of it's like I may never have to like go out to an event, but I have these like nicer shoes if I do, you
Yeah. I
know.
mean, that's kind of important. Like, there's no way around that.
Yeah,
Like, sometimes you kind of just have to, because, like,
to do it.
yeah. But it's like, you don't have to feel like, oh, I have to change my life because, like, I need to have less stuff. Like, just think about the ways that it'll, like, help you and only the ways it'll benefit you. And, like, you could even just change the stuff that you think would actually help. Like, you don't have to just be like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of all my stuff now because it's bad to have stuff.
It's not.
Just be like, if you have stuff that's constantly in your
Yeah.
way, maybe think about how necessary it
Yeah,
really is.
exactly. Like Michaela and I realized that no matter where you live, there's always a junk drawer. Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is there always a junk drawer? We as soon as we moved in, we were like, this is the junk drawer. Anything that we don't want it away, here it is. But we look in the junk drawer and it's like, oh, okay, shoelaces, a screwdriver, like things that if need be, you know, batteries or battery chargers, because we use reusable batteries for our TV remotes and our Xbox remotes. So like the battery charger or like stuff like that, you know. But like some people would be like, oh yes, this is a old Tootsie Roll from the 80s. Well, like why is it in
Yeah.
there?
See, like I've set up my space where I don't really have a way to do that. Like my TV like stand has 2 drawers. One of them is like very specific stuff. The other one's like my hoodies. And then like in my closet I have like 4 boxes on the top and they're like one is like Vanessa's stuff, like extra socks and stuff like that for when she comes over if she like forgets something. And then there's like stuff that would normally go in my desk, like stuff I might need, like paper and like index cards and stuff, like stuff for school. And then one of them is something else. And it's like everything has a very specific spot, and there's no space for me to put anything away.
Right.
Really, like everything is out and accessible, and because of that, it has to be less stuff. Because if it was
Right.
too much stuff, it would be clutter and it would be taking up a ton of space.
Michaela and I have that too. Like we don't have a table, or like my desk doesn't have drawers. It just has like cubbies, and they're open. Like it's just like a platform. There's 2 platforms, so there's no way for me to like, oh yeah, sure, I'll put, I don't know, index cards in there. And it also like almost forces us to be like neater, because like you don't want to look at a desk and there's just like wires and shit all over the place,
Yeah.
you know. So like that also helps us. We don't have a table or anything. Like we only have, like, most of the drawers that we have in our kitchen are empty. We have one drawer for our utensils, one drawer for like our measuring stuff, um, one drawer for like bags, like garbage bags and stuff, like all these straws that we have, like our plasticware, the junk drawer, stuff for our cats, the 2 cabinets that have our uh, like plates and stuff in it. But every single one of those things has like there's 3 more drawers under our utensil drawer. There's 2 more levels for our above our plates. There's like an entire wall of like cabinets that we're not using.
And imagine if that was like your house. You could tear that stuff out and have more space, just open space.
Yeah.
Because you're not using it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like when I got my bed, I got a bed that was like raised off the ground so I could use it for storage. And when I got it, it was packed full of stuff under there. Like if I lifted up the bed, like it wasn't like it was all organized, like it was stuff that was like down there neatly and everything, but it was so much stuff. Now I have like 2 pillows and a blanket down there. Because when I wake up in the morning, like this comforter that's on my bed, I pretty much just use as a sheet. I sleep on top of it, and I have a blanket that my mom gave me for my birthday. I'll use that, and then when I wake up, I fold it and I throw it under my bed. And it's like, now I really want to get a bed that doesn't even have an under the bed. So I just don't even have that space to throw stuff under.
Michaela and I have a bed like that. Like it doesn't have like a box or anything. So,
Yeah,
like,
I don't have a box either.
I used to hate having, or I have a space under my bed, but like I just throw shit under there.
Yeah.
Like before, but now like I've really cleaned up my room a lot. Like before I used to love collecting loot crates, but then one day like I looked up in my closet and like I just saw all these boxes of loot crates. I'm like, why the fuck do I have all this shit?
Well, yeah, because
And
stuff
so I
like
was like,
that,
yeah,
they give you a
but, like,
bunch of stuff. So you're like,
yeah.
not everything in here I even like.
Right. So what I did, I just started getting rid of stuff. I started what I liked, I put into a single box, and it's sitting up there, but it's just one box now. I got rid of a ton of stuff, and like under my bed, the only thing I have under there is like comics that really like have a lot of sentimental value
Yeah.
to me.
See,
Some
that's fine.
shoes and like two, 3 pairs of shoes that I
Yeah.
use a lot. My weights, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot nicer not having so much clutter under my bed because I throw clothes under there. Really anything, even like garbage and water bottles and shit. Even though I have a
God.
I feel
garbage
like
right
a
next
lot
to my
of people
bed.
are having that like realization where they like look around their space and then they're like, why do I have all this shit?
Yeah.
You know? It's just funny.
No, I don't.
Do you?
Dude, I've realized how much like
Hold on,
exposed
guys.
legs on something, like your bed
Ah.
or like a desk,
Mhm.
it really opens up your space. Like my old desk that Seawall has now.
Because you're calling my name. Don't come in. I'm naked right now.
Like the left side of it is a cabinet,
Mhm.
and so it takes up a ton of like visible space. But like the desk I
Right.
have right now, because I stole the table we normally use for the podcast, it just has like 4 legs, so you could see through it,
Mhm.
and it completely opens up the floor. It feels like it's not there,
Yeah.
and it's like when I got this set up, and it's literally like I have an open rack next to my desk with all the gear that I need to use. So like I can't make it cluttered because it's visible. But then like when I set up the desk, it was literally just like my laptop and like my iPad. And it's like crazy how inspiring a clean workspace, like a clean and ergonomic workspace can be. Like it made me
Absolutely.
want to sit down and work. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I want to edit these videos. I want to type this essay out. Like I want to get to work.
If you want, there's a book that I started reading. It's called or hold on, let me go get it. Right back. The book is called The 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
And in it, one of the chapters talks about how like cleaning your room will like how it benefits not only your health but also like your mentality when it comes to like working and stuff like that, because it's your room is essentially your domain
Mhm.
where you feel safe and stuff like that. And once you think of your room as like your brain, so when you clean your room, you're essentially cleaning your brain,
Mhm.
and you can become a lot more focused on whatever you're doing, and you're just a lot more productive.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like
It's
your
really
launch
interesting.
pad. Like you
Yeah,
wake up in
absolutely.
your room and that's how you
Yeah.
start your day.
Yeah.
You make it to where like when you get up, you're tripping over stuff. Like you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Michaela and I, when we moved, we're like, we cannot have our house look like it did in El Paso. Because it's not that our house was messy, it's just that our kitchen was a quarter of the size of the kitchen that we have now.
Mhm.
If I was cooking, I could take a step and there was a fridge. I could turn and there was a sink. And if I turned 180 degrees from the stove, there was a pantry. That's how small it was. And now it's like there's a sink over there, and then there's this like 10 20 feet of just kitchen. So though now it looks less messy, it like we have made like a list of chores that we have to do every day. Obviously for the past 2 days, Michaela and I have both had fevers, so we haven't been cleaning. But like as soon as the house is clean and we like vacuum every single day, I like sit down and I'm like, my brain is like clear and I'm like, this is my house. Like this is my house.
Yeah.
Holy shit.